Welcome back to the Whiskey Explorer. Thanks so much for tuning in for another episode, guys. And if this is your first time to the channel, thanks so much for joining us. Please do us a quick favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave us a comment down below, let us know what you think about this bourbon, and we'll keep the conversation going here at the Whiskey Explorer. And also hit that notification bell so you guys know when we are dropping new videos. And tonight, guys, we have a classic bourbon to review. We have Knob Creek Single Barrel. Alright, so I have actually got an old bottling of Knob Creek Single Barrel here. Showed you kind of the bottle in the close-up in the B-roll there. This is actually the old bottling, so they've got a new bottling style out now that has kind of like the really cool kind of wavy glass, and it's a little more sleek. It's got kind of a beige and a black motif on it, so kind of more similar to the branding for the Knob Creek small batch. So this one here is part of the Jim Beam small batch collection, and this one is Single Barrel Reserve Straight Kentucky Bourbon Whiskey, and it is bottled at 120 proof or 60% ABV. And what's nice about this one is at the bottom there you can see it says aged 9 years. So what's actually really cool is that, especially in the States, you can find these Knob Creek single barrel store picks that are like upwards of 14 years old sometimes, you know, commonly 10 and 11 years old, maybe some 12 years old. There was actually a BC liquor store pick of this, but unfortunately it was out before my whiskey journey began, so I didn't get a bottle of that. But I believe that one was about 12 or 14 years old, so those ones, if you can find those Jim Beam single barrel store picks of the Knob Creek, those are absolute gems, so go out and grab those if you can. But anyways, this is also a great value. So here in BC, I think this one was $69.99. So $70 for near cask strength Knob Creek single barrel. So pretty good value there for sure. And this does have the annoying old school Jim Beam wax. So I can say that I opened this at kind of a whiskey night with some friends, and like the whole top of it just like disintegrated and chipped off and flew everywhere. And the bottle looked so ugly, and I knew I was going to review it, but I actually had to super glue part of it back on there just to pretty up a little bit for the review. So there you go. So old school Jim Beam Knob Creek wax that everybody complains about. Definitely had an experience with that. From what I understand, the new ones are actually much improved, and it's a much nicer wax that doesn't kind of break apart and fall over and, you know, go everywhere. So anyways, let's get started on this review here. Take a quick look at the color in the glass. Oh, so it's a really nice color. That's a really nice kind of medium copper tone to that. So there's definitely some nice color on the actual bourbon there. And we're talking about 9 years old, 120 proof. So I'm not sure quite how much they proofed this down. I think I recall that it's proofed down by about 5 proof. So I think when this comes out of the barrel, it's more closer to 125 proof, but 120 proof is getting pretty darn close to that barrel strength or cask strength bourbon here. So really nice color in the glass, and it being 9 years old definitely picks up some color from the new American charred white oak, right? So yeah, definitely nice color to this one. So we'll go in for a nose. Cheers. Oh wow, it's a beautiful nose. It is super sweet and desserty on the nose. So deep, rich brown sugar. A little bit of a hint of a chocolate note in there, like even like a milk chocolate. So not even quite a dark chocolate, but like a real like sweet milk chocolate note. Followed up with some nice sweet vanilla, a little bit of sweet oak, and then some deep, dark kind of cherry notes as well there. So this just has a fantastic nose. I've had this one open for a little bit. When I first opened it, it was quite astringent and quite alcohol forward. So we'll see if that's kind of calmed down now. It's a little bit kind of past the shoulder on this one here. So that should give it a good opportunity to kind of open up and get some interaction with the air. Let's go in for a quick sip here, guys, and we'll try it out on the palate. Cheers. Wow, that is just a flavor punch, like a total flavor explosion. There is also a lot going on in the palate here. I will take another sip, let my kind of palate get acclimated to the higher proof here, the 120. But right away, it came in with some beautiful dark kind of brown sugar notes, some caramel, butterscotch, rich vanilla. I took quite a big sip. So what's great about this as well is that it's like totally mouth coating, fully mouth coating experience. Then there's this beautiful transition to these deep, dark, rich fruit notes. So definitely think like dark black cherry notes in there. Wow, that has a real presence to it. A real flavor punch on that one for sure. There's also a lot of cinnamon and baking spices in here, so like some allspice, some clove, a little bit of cayenne pepper on the finish there. It is a nice, long-lasting, deep, lingering finish as well. So this one definitely fully coats the mouth and then it sticks around. So you get that finish, it just keeps going. So this is definitely one that you can sip and savor and enjoy over time. You don't need to go in for that second sip right away because it's lasting, like it really does last. Fully mouth coating, huge presence to this bourbon. It's a big, bold, brash, I think beautiful bourbon. So delicious on the first try there. Absolutely love it. I actually did get a chance to try that BC Liquor store pick, the one that was older. I think it might have even been like as many as like 12 years old. A friend of mine gave me a sample, so it was fantastic. It was more sweet than this and it had like a dusty kind of funky note to it as well. Really quite a special dram, but this one is excellent as well. When this came back to BC, it actually came back and it wasn't the store pick, it was just this regular one, but I mean, it just flew off the shelves. And I knew that it was the old bottling and that there was going to be a new bottling on the way, so I snapped it up and really glad to have this one in the collection. So let's go in for a second sip here, guys. Now the palate's had a chance to acclimate. I will say, even this much time has passed by, the finish is still, there's still some presence of the finish there. So still a bit of lingering baking spice there on the back end. So this bourbon definitely delivers. Let's go in for a second sip. Cheers. Wow. Fantastic dram. All sorts of presence there. Just a huge flavor explosion. There's a burst right at the gates, like right off the hop. Beautiful brown sugar, kind of brown butter note to it. Nice caramel and toffee notes coming in. A little bit of vanilla and sweet oak. Then there's a big transition there to those deep dark fruits, jammy fruits, cooked down fruits, plum. Definitely the cherry, black cherry is in there. Just a delicious bourbon all around. What is fantastic about this is at that 120 proof, this Knob Creek single barrel is fully mouth coating. So you get the full palate experience there. A little bit of a Kentucky hug going down. And man, does this bourbon deliver. It just keeps going. The finish is crazy long and lasting. Nice Kentucky hug. On the finish, you get all the baking spices in there. So baking spice like cinnamon, allspice, a little bit of definitely some clove in there because it's a little bit spicy on the finish. So there's definitely some like pepper, some like black pepper in there, some cayenne pepper even almost. Like definitely a spicy finish to this bourbon. And I think that is what is awesome about this Knob Creek single barrel is it delivers the full bourbon experience, right? So you get those sweet caramel, sweet vanilla, brown sugar, kind of sweet molasses notes in the beginning. Then you get some dark fruits in there, and then you get just a wonderful long finish, the full mouth coating experience. So I can't recommend this one enough. Knob Creek single barrel, as you might have heard before on the channel here. I think I'm coming around more and more to Jim Beam products because I loved the Bookers that I had. I loved the Bakers that I had, and now I'm loving this Knob Creek. So you know what? Hey, I think I'm coming around on Jim Beam. There's also some sweet vanilla and sweet oak that's coming in on the finish now. And this is like, a couple minutes after the sip. So this one's definitely a winner, guys. Go out, grab yourself a bottle of the Knob Creek single barrel. Thanks so much for joining me for this review. Until the next time, may your sales be full and your drams be fuller. Cheers.